Hi. Let's have a little chat about what exactly happened this month because I don't even care anymore. This is my April wrap-up and April book haul because I'm just gonna throw it all into one video because that's the way it's gonna happen today. Quickly, I'm gonna show you the books that I bought in the month of April. Also, I wanted to show you my little Starbuck. I got a little Starbuck Funko Pop thingy, and she's gonna go over here right now because I kind of need the books that are in front of them. So the three books that I got in April, well, I bought them in March, so technically I don't really consider them an April purchase, and that is the last three books in the Belgariad series. So you got Magician's Gambit by David Eddings, Castle of Wizardry, and Enchanter's Endgame. And then I went to chapters, as you do when you go to the mall with friends and nobody has any sense of let's not go in there because we'll spend money sense. I have 15 Dogs by Andre Alexis. This is a Canadian book published by an independent publisher, which is Coach House Books. This was also the winner of the Scotiabank Giller Prize, which was a national Canadian prize that I kind of followed along last year. There was, in the short list of 5 books, 3 are from independent publishers, which 2 of them are from a publisher here in Windsor. And then it's got the Writers' Trust of Canada award or something. So this is about a bet between Hermes and Apollo. It's a bet between the gods Hermes and Apollo leads them to grant human consciousness and language to a group of dogs who are overnighting at a Toronto veterinary clinic. And it's basically, I wonder, said Hermes, what it would be like if animals had human intelligence. I wager a year's servitude, answered Apollo, that animals, any animal you like, would be even more unhappy than humans are if they were given human intelligence. So, I saw this a lot last year, especially dealing with the Giller Prize, and I'm gonna think it's a little interesting when I get into reading again. This next book is totally like, I needed it in my hands, and I needed it in my life, even though it cost $30. It is worth every penny. Nickel. We don't have pennies anymore. And that is the Star Wars trilogy. This is beautiful. It is a nice leather-bound book. This one is the R2-D2 version. There is also a 3PO version. It's got nice silver pages, and it's just, oh, this is just, I saw it and I was like, I couldn't even open it because it was shrink wrapped. I'm just like, mine. So this has episode 4, 5, and 6 in it. It's just, it's got beautiful concept art in the end pages. I mean, you got Dagobah. I really have a thing for books that are adapted from movies, so I'm really excited. I opted for the R2-D2 version. There's the back. And it's got a nice lightsaber instead of the 3PO because I'm more of a silver than a gold, even though the goldenrod is the goldenrod. So those are the books I bought. I did not go overboard with books this month. I'm kind of happy about that. But at the same time, it might have to stem with the fact that I've been in a reading slump all month. It sucks. We had Genrethon, and I was gonna do Author-a-thon, which I discovered soon after, and just like an excuse to read all the books I wanted to read. My goal for this month was to read 10 books because I really just wanted to do some reading. I read 1 book in this entire month. I started a lot, but I finished 1. I cracked open The Darkest Part of the Forest, but I don't think I'm feeling this book apart from my reading slump. I read the first 28, 29 pages of this, and I thought this was more of a fantasy type book. I wasn't really anticipating the contemporary aspect of it. Not really a big fan of contemporary, and I'm also not a really big fan of the fae at all, like dealing with the fae folk and any of that. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this. I did get about 15 pages into A New Hope, but I kind of just put it down and I haven't picked it back up. That was just like the day I got it. I have read the first 72 pages of Dark Lord by Jamie Thompson, and this is okay. It's just a bit middle grade, and I just was not feeling it really. It's interesting, but not that interesting, so it was very easy to put down. Then of course we have Genrethon, which out of the books I did pick up You by Caroline Kepnes, and I have read, I'm on page 85 of this, and there's nothing really wrong with this. It was just very, very creepy, and I wasn't really in the mood to binge read something like this. This is something you need to slowly digest. So I did put it down to pick up another book for Genrethon, and maybe I was going to come back to it, but I didn't. But I will finish the book eventually because it's creepy AF. I did pick up Hounded by Kevin Hearn. I'm about 114 pages into it. It just got to a part where there's like a battle happening, and I gloss over those sometimes, so it's very just easy just to put it down because I'm not really interested in the battle that is happening, because it's one of those minor things. You know there's going to be a bigger one later in the story. It's pretty interesting. It's not the best though. The book I finished in April is The Awakening by Michael Carroll. This I would describe as like The Incredibles meet The Watchmen, but middle grade. Because this is very much a middle grade book, even though there are adults in it. I enjoy the story. I gave it around a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not the best. I'd like stories with superpowers and stuff like that. So basically in this world, there were a bunch of superheroes and supervillains, and then one day they all vanished. So fast forward 10 years later and things are happening. I liked it, but towards the end it started to get a little robotic and very surface like with the characters. Like there was a scene where there's experimentation on the kid, and they're like, take off your shirt, and he's like, no, and he's like, it was just very shallow, very surface and very shallow for me. That's how I felt. That's where the story was. Usually you like getting in deep into the story. This was just like surface story. Might continue on with the story. I don't know. It could go either way. It just hasn't really been a really good month for reading. So those are the books that I bought, I tried to read, and I actually did read in the month of April. Kind of disappointed, but at the same time recognized that I kind of needed a break because I just took everything off my currently reading list on Goodreads and was just like, not gonna read for a while. Just take a break. I haven't tried to pick up a book since like last weekend. I'm okay with it, just need a little break. Ribset starts on Sunday and it goes from the 1st to the 8th, so that's gonna be happening. I'm excited. Hopefully I can do a bit of reading and that this slump will be over. I don't know. Someone said I was stressed, and I don't know why, because I'm not all stressed, but it could be stress. I don't know. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know how your month of April went, because reading wise, mine was like meh. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!